So what are we doing? We're using the Raspberry Pi to do what?
Make flashing lights.
All right. You said we're going to make these lights flash using the Raspberry Pi, right? And we're going to use this relay, which took us an hour to figure out. All right, so Corinne is about to turn 12 years old. So we want to, turn on. We want to show her birthday of 12 years old coming up this weekend. But she said, but we need a little more flash, right? So here's our goal. We have these simple on-off switches. And we want these things to go back and forth. So instead of them just coming on and staying on, we're going to do this with a Raspberry Pi. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Faster, 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 faster. Now, we could do this all day by our hands, but let's let software do it. So, with that, we're going to wire these up to this relay right here so that they'll go back and forth for her birthday. The goal is to make them go slow to fast with the Raspberry Pi. So for now, we've got everything powered up, and we're going to do some software coding, and then we'll show you what happens after we test with the software. Software does take a little bit of time. We're going to be using something called Python to write a script. So basically, the moment we apply power from a battery pack, it's going to power the lights, the Pi, and it'll boot up, start running the script, and start powering everything up and going back and forth. First, we have to run it to test, and then we'll set it to an auto script. Right? See the screen. All right. Can you see it here and here? Yes, no? All right. So, our intent is still to get the numbers 1 and 12 lit up. And let's show them real quick. We're going to do a rehash because we recorded earlier. So we want to see it blink. So we want to see it do this. So we've been working with the Raspberry Pi, wrong way. And to test everything, we've been using the Raspberry Pi and the breadboard, and we've got our software ready to run this option. So this is how we're testing with an LED. We run the software, and the LED starts blinking. And it's going to start blinking faster as it goes through everything. There it goes faster. And it goes really fast. And it goes super fast. So these lights will go blink, 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 and then they'll just keep blinking so fast, and they're actually going to slow down, and we're going to repeat that. So now it's time to take this and get the looping software and the script, so when we turn the Raspberry Pi on, it automatically runs the script, and then we'll solder these into the relay and then run it from there. We should be done in probably about an hour. Alright, so our goal was to take this little relay and make these numbers flash back and forth. Unfortunately, we couldn't get this to work, could we? You have to be verbal, you have to say stuff.
No.
There you go. So instead of that, we decided to wire each single light through a resistor into a Raspberry Pi to each general pin in out. Alright, so here we have the Raspberry Pi, and on the top of the Raspberry Pi you have multiple general purpose in outs. We're using those to switch each individual light on and off. Those are wired into a breadboard, and as you can see, the breadboard has wires and also 15 individual resistors so we don't burn our lights out. That all goes into the back of the lights, and then you'll see it blink in the next sequence. And we have everything to include the ground wires running into the Raspberry Pi, so we have 15 individual lights. So then we take the script and we tell each individual pin to come on and off in certain sequences for a certain amount of time. And we're going to set this to an infinite loop so that when we finish, it does this. We have it blink fast. And then we have it blink slower. You want to slow it down just a hair?
Mm-mm.
No? And afterwards, it's going to snake. When it's done snaking, it's going to snake back. And then when we put the infinite loop in, it'll do it all over again, completely, and all you'll have to do is literally turn the power on to the Pi. You won't even need a screen. What do you think?
Cool.
Outstanding. And all this is just because my baby girl is going to turn 12 come Sunday, and this is going to be one of the centerpieces. All this work just to say blinking 12, right?
Yep.
All right. All right, go hit the power. So this is what our Raspberry Pi is going to do when you hit the power button. You have to dance across. Come on, dance to the lights.
No.
See, even the dog wants to be there. And it's a wee woo.
What the pulse are we?
And it's powering up. Lights are on. And
Action.
yeah. And this is what happens. Bam. Look at that. See? We're going to have it going off. And this is what happens when you actually turn it on in the living room. We have it rocking and rolling for the Big 12. And we got the Russian in the background.
It's a high quality camera, so it can't catch it.
Yeah.
On that side, it goes in the door.
And there we go.
Can you zoom in?
Alright, go stand in front of the fireplace and see how high it is.
And I am 57 point and a half.
It's 57 and a half inch. Look at that. You're just below the mantle, huh?
Ow.
Yeah, raise your hands like this. Look at that. Number 12. I'm going to zoom in there.
Oh, right? Yeah, okay.
Look at that.
I think
Smile.
people can be like jumping around because they think hit their head because I have tall people coming. Like, taller.